Today I'm going to be doing a video. It's a book review video, and I have 8 books. And I was shocked that I had this many books because I didn't think I had this many. I thought I only had 6. But I'm going to start this video off with a book that I didn't really enjoy. And I never really understood it. And this is called The Language of Flowers. It's by Vanessa Diffenbaugh. I don't know how you say her last name. But anyway, this is what it is. And the reason why I didn't like this book was because it wasn't about flowers or anything. I like flowers. It's about this girl who lived in the foster system for a long time. And when she got older, you know, like always, you always hear it where the older kids never get picked or anything. So she ends up having to go to some kind of, I don't know what they called it, some kind of house. And she was supposed to stay there until she turned 18. And the one thing she liked to do was learn about what different flowers meant. And that's the last thing I remember that happened for a while. The middle of the book was kind of a flip-flop of different things, because it was just like, it was just a weird book. Like, it kept going back and forth, flip-flopping between different times, I guess. I never really told you when it was gonna, like, time change or anything. And then somehow at the end of the book, she was pregnant and she had a baby and stuff like that. And I really didn't like this book, to be honest, just because of that reason where it kept flip-flopping. And it said that she was 10 years old, and it never said that she got older or anything. So I don't know, like, when she had the baby, she was like 10 years old or something. I don't know. It was just a weird book. I didn't really like it. She did end up making a book about the different types of flowers and stuff with this guy and what they mean and stuff, but that was about it. It really wasn't that interesting. This is called The Cat Who Turned On and Off. This is a series that I really like. I just read them as I get them. I don't, I read them as I get them because I don't know when I'm ever going to find these books. I usually find them at book sales. And this is by Lilian, Braun. It's The Cat Who Turned On and Off. This is what it looks like. And this is in the beginning of the series. It might be like maybe in the first 5. Because Quill doesn't know that he is a beneficiary of this $1 million fund that that they always say in the beginning of the books. So it has to happen when this book is probably in the earlier part of the series. And Quill and his 2 cats decided to go to this place called Junktown, where it's all these antique dealers and stuff, and he hates antiques. And one of the leading people in the town that's an antiques dealer gets murdered, and he decides that he's going to figure out who did it, and the cats help him in different ways. His one cat does, Coco. Yeah, Coco. And it's just a cute little book. I really like how he solves mysteries and stuff. They're really cute, and they're not that, like, they're just a small little book. Like, they're not that big. Like, you could finish this book in a day, probably. So, this next one is one that I didn't like either. It's called House of Secrets. It's by V.C. Andrews. And this is what it looks like now. I'm sorry that this book looks kind of mangled. It was a new book that, I think it was new, or maybe it wasn't. I have a puppy, and she got into this book before I got a chance to read it. So that's why it looks mangled at the bottom. So this book is about this girl named Fern, and I really didn't like this one because it was really predictable. It was about this girl named Fern, and she grew up in this, her mother was like a nanny to these rich people's children. And when their mother dies, the stepmother doesn't like Fern's mother and her anymore. And she always treats them badly and stuff. And her and the rich rich kid's parents' kid, named Ryder, R-Y-D-E-R, her and him they both get really close, and their parents try to not get them to be really close because it turns out that they're half siblings and stuff, and it was just a weird book. It really didn't shock me because, you know, some of V.C. Andrews books, you ever read any V.C. Andrews books, they usually end up kind of like that, or pregnant or something like that. And this is supposed to be a series. It's supposed to be 3 in the series. And this is the first book in the series, so I don't know how that's going to turn out, because that book didn't really interest me a lot. And I don't know if it was because of my last book review video I filmed. I read 2 other V.C. Andrews books. But yeah, I just really didn't get into it. So this book is called The Blood of an Englishman. It's a series. It's Agatha Raisin mystery. It's her 25th adventure. It's by M.C. Beaton, and this is what it looks like. It kind of reminds me of Mrs. Marple from Agatha Christie's novels, kind of, because she's kind of nosy and stuff like that. And what happens is this guy named Bert, he dies in a play that they were producing in this town called The Babes in the Woods. And she decides that she's going to try and figure out who did it. And everybody just thinks she's just a nosy person and everything. I really liked it. There was some really funny parts in this. Like, I kind of picture this kind of like a more comical version of an Agatha Christie novel. That's what I think of it as. It was a really good book. I don't know where I got this book at. I don't remember. But it was really good. So if I find any more of these books, I might get them. I don't know. It depends on if I can find them. So this book I got from the Dollar Tree. And usually from the Dollar Tree, when they have like a series, a book series there, you can never find the first one. And this book, I got the first one. It was such a shock to me to find it. It's called Archie, Greene and the Magician's Secret. It's by D.D. Everest. And this is what it looks like. And this is about this boy named Archie who turns 13. And he has to go to this magic store or something like that. And with this book that he gets in the first book. And he goes there and he learns the ways of the magicians. And he learns that he's a book whisperer, which is somebody that can talk to books. And the books talk back to him and stuff. And it's kind of like, and I'm not going to say it's like the most like, I'm going to say it's sort of like the Percy Jackson kind of books, except there's no like gods or goddesses. But it's just basically kind of like that type of book. And Archie has to figure out, the books are telling him that there's this mean person that's destroying these books, or they're losing their power. Because these books are supposed to have came from the Library of Alexandria, which was the the library that Alexander the Great made in Alexandria, Egypt. And these books, I don't know if it was when he died, I don't remember, but these books have been going through all these different places and stuff, and then this is the place that they go where he meets these people that help mend the books. There's 3 different types of jobs that these magicians have, and his is the rare one, which is a book whisperer. So this book was another funny book. It's called a Kendra Battentine, I guess that's how you say her last name, Pet Sitter Mystery. It's called Nothing to Fear But Ferrets. It's by Linda O. Johnston. This is what it looks like. And this is about this girl named Kendra who's a pet sitter. And she's going to go pet sit these ferrets. Or she doesn't know that she's supposed to pet sit these ferrets. She just knows she's supposed to pet sit. And she lives in California, and I don't know if this is true or not, but in the book it says that ferrets are illegal in California. So what happens is she tries to hide these ferrets because they're illegal, and she doesn't know what to do with them because they're she rents out this place, I guess, and she didn't know, and she's like, well, this person that she gives this house to rent to really gives her a lot of money to stay there and stuff, so she doesn't really know she's in a conundrum. And here she goes to a party at this house, and when they open up one of the doors, the ferrets are eating this dead guy's body. And everybody is just such in a disarray and everything, and she's trying to figure out if the ferrets really killed this guy or if it was an actual person. And it's a funny little book. Like, it's not that morbid. Like, when they said, oh, the ferrets were doing this, were eating the body of this guy, like, they made it sound funny. It didn't sound morbid or anything. So, 2 more books left. This one was a cute little story. It's called Ranchers. It's called Twins for the Ranchers by Trish Milborn. It's a Harlequin book. This is what it looks like. It's about this guy who falls in love with this woman who has twins, and she's a baker. She has a bakery that she's going to open up, and the rancher guy is trying to get her to sell his beef there or something like that. Like, I don't know. And it was a cute little story because she doesn't think that he wants to be with her because of the babies, and he gets attached to the babies and stuff like that. It's really cute. So this is the last one I have. Now this book is old, and this came from a wedding I was at where there was different kinds of old books on the tables. And this one is called The Study of Nature. It's by Samuel Christian Schmucker, PhD. This is what it looks like, and basically what this book is about the study of nature. They call it nature study. And in the beginning of the book, he talks about how if you want to learn about nature or nature study, the best place to do it is outside. And it's the best place to be, better than reading a book where you just read the book and then you don't go out and look for these animals or whatever. And then the second part of the book is all about the different groups of animals, and it goes through, like, how insects are different from each other, how birds are different from each other, wild animals, domestic animals, stuff like that. It's a really good book. There are some kind of pictures in it, but they're not all throughout the book. There's, like, they're all random. But I really like it. It's not one of those books that you think, well, it's a science book, so it's going to be boring. It's kind of a nice book. Like, I really enjoy it. So if you really, really like nature, you can read this book. And it doesn't have that many, like, scientific words in it that make you all confused if you don't like science or anything like that. But I like nature science the best. So yeah, I like this book. It's good. I'll see you guys next time with another video, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day.